Shut up and sit down.
Welcome to the Bricks King podcast, where I'm going to bend your ear about Lego, review the plastic, and discuss what is new and up and coming around the Lego world. I'm your Minifigure host, Matt. Let's build on it. Welcome in, everybody. How are we doing today? Well, it's been a while, hasn't it? I feel like I don't know you anymore. I feel like we're long-lost friends, cousins. It's like we've moved from like 800 miles away. That is not the case. We were just simply moving to a new studio, moving houses. New studio, it is up and going. Minor tweaks. Internet is finally up and going after a few days of impossible, what seemed like impossible troubleshooting. I know I'm boring you. Anyway, this is what happens when we move out to the country. It's cows, it's horses, it's pigs, it's chickens. There's not much else, but that's what it is. I don't even have a stop sign in the downtown of the town that I'm in, let alone a stoplight. The nearest stoplight is probably 25 minutes, probably even longer, honestly. Anyway, so with that in mind, we are here today, to discuss on episode 261, the Airbus H175 rescue helicopter from Airbus 42145. This thing has 2001 pieces, just the year before I graduated, so you can judge me how you will. And its retail price is $210 USD or 210 euro. It depends on what you choose to prefer, of course. Now, I will tell you straight out of the gate, Technic and I still don't get along. To this day, I enjoy seeing the outcome of Technic. The build, not so much. Why? My fingers get fried. I'm like, I can't do this. Like, I need 2 days afterward for my fingertips to recover and get back to this is, I can do this now. But this set is incredible. So let's go ahead and dive deep into what makes this set worthy of your $210. Because at the end of the day, that's what matters. Here we go. So before we really take a deep dive inside this Airbus rescue helicopter, what do you want to know? You want to know a few things. You want to know price. You want to know parts. You want to know build style. Is it worth it? But Technic has really put their game up. They're not at system level for most people. They don't. So for instance, if you were to ask a commoner that is a Lego commoner, not a commoner on the street that's, they do all the, how many states are there? 52? United States, by the way. 52? No. Don't ask those people. I need you to ask a Lego commoner, somebody that has built a Lego set, somebody that has built a Lego set probably in the last 18 to 24 months, somebody that has a general knowledge of Lego. And if you say the word Technic, they don't say, huh? No. Anyway, if you were to ask somebody, a general person with that demographic of 18 to 24 months has built a Lego set, know what Technic is, and you ask them, what do you think of Lego Technic sets? I'd be curious to know, because I was very much so in the realm of Technic, y'all suck. Get out of here. I don't like that. I had my qualms about the Ferrari. I did. Absolutely, I did. That was more so on the instruction issue, more so than the design issue. And then we roll in this puppy. And here's what you end up with. You end up with a model that's roughly about 2 feet long, end to end, nose cone to tail rotor. Roughly about 2 feet long. Thick, bulky, incredible, amazing. It works really well. And we'll get into the smaller details on the inside and stuff. But one of the more impressive things that I noticed on this was the the blades atop of the helicopter. There are 5 blades. They have the long bluish gray here that they use here for the blade itself. And then it's flimsy on the outside. It has a yellow rubber feeling to it. There's a giant red canopy to the blades and the assembly so that you can't see all the inner workings underneath, but the inner workings are important. This thing is incredible. I just love it. Like, I have a spot reserved to hang it from the ceiling. So it can be powered because this is a powered set. This isn't something you're like, oh, that's stupid, I can't do anything with it now. No, it is powered. And secondly, because it looks so rad, it's so stinking large. Really, really works well. So let's talk about what it has. It has this giant 5-prop propeller. There we go. I knew I was going to butcher it. 5-prop propeller. 5-prop. I can't do it. Can you do it even 3 times? If you can, you're my hero. I promise you. Anyway, but it is locked in place. I can't move it. If I push it hard enough, it adjusts the rear tail rotor to move as well, but that's not necessary. So it is made up of a bunch of bars and Technic connections up here, which is really nice, by the way. It is absolutely nice. I do love the way that is done. But again, this is battery powered. So it is one of those things like, oh, hello, this is kind of important. And it is. It is absolutely important. The battery pack itself is kind of hidden, so you don't have to worry too much. It is on the bottom side of things, which you can get to. It's not the end of the world. It's not like you have to tear things apart to be able to get to it. But on the inside of this thing, you're basically making up motors, gears, pinions, axles, all that kind of stuff to be able to get the action functions that you want or need on the outside to be able to justify $210 or €210. So one of the interesting things that I found was the fact that the propellers spin, and they spin really, really cool. So I'm going to demonstrate it, and I'm going to talk about it here in a moment. Now, the great thing is you have a bunch of different functions that are attached and assembled on the outside with little connections for you to use. So you can turn this on by a flick of a switch, on and off. Oh, hello! My propeller is spinning. You can probably hear it. It's trying to slash my throat. I refuse to die today, sir. I refuse. Anyway, so it is flying around. It is on rabbit mode. Okay. The switch just above that allows you to turn it to what they have as a sticker as turtle mode. So it moves much slower. The rear propeller and the main propeller move much slower. Now, the rear propeller doesn't move so much in proportion with it. It has moments where it pauses. So if you're like, oh my God, it stopped, it's broken. It's not broken. It's kind of its weird functionality that's going on here. Its tightness and everything, like the rigidity and everything. Don't get offended. Don't get upset. Don't be like, I quit, I'm taking it back. Don't do that. Please don't do that. So, with that in mind, I'm going to turn that off. The propellers are going to run when I turn it back on. There's nothing I can do about it. Sorry about the mic bump there. So that was on the left side. We're going to flip it over to the right side. And on the right side, once you flip this thing on, you have an option that you can retract, or what is the opposite of retract? Attract? No, that doesn't work. Anyway, the front landing wheel, you can retract it or you can put it back out. I'm struggling with vocab today. English is hard. Anyway, so you do have that opportunity. And then there's a button right above that. Not a button, but a switch. You can allow the hook that is attached to a cord here, a rope, to come down or come up. It's up to you. However you want to do it, whenever you want to do it, it doesn't really matter. But it works really well. When you're coming down, you're going to need to put a little tension on it. It does work without, but it's better to have it. So I'm going to turn this. Is it on? I got it on. I'm off to my right side, which would be the co-pilot, I believe, side. Anyway, I'm going to... My wheel up. Nope, it's already out. I can't put it out anymore. You heard the click, 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 click. The gear's telling me I can't do that. I'm going to push it the other way, and my wheels retract. I forgot. It's also the rear wheels, which I totally forgot about. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to click the up or down. We're going to move the switch for up or down so that you have an opportunity to drop your hook down or pick it up, because this is a search and rescue helicopter. You need to be able to lift things up. You need to be able to lift up people out of the ocean or the sea or the bay or whatever. So I'm going to put it in the downward position. It does come out without having any weight on it, but I will tell you it forms up much nicer when you do have weight on it. Same as when you retract it. It is much better. I'm going to flip it the other way, and it's going to start winding it in. You are most definitely going to want to make sure that you are paying attention to how you wind it, just due to the sheer fact that you don't want it just winding off to the right section. So it's wound up. Again, it uses a steering wheel, a Technic steering wheel, just above where the hook is, where it's roped in, where it's tied in. It's really nicely done. So I'm going to put back out my wheels so that my wheels are able to support my sitting on the desk of this. I'm going to rotate it back around, and I'm going to turn it into the off position. So it's now off position. Blades, props, everything is done. Nothing is moving. Wheels aren't moving. Hooks aren't moving. Nothing. Everything is dead. Now, I will tell you this. I did do a battery test on this. I use rechargeable batteries. I use Energizer, not Energizer, I'm sorry, RadioVac. Is it RadioVac, I believe? Rechargeable batteries. And we put them in here, and we did a test. So we put the propellers on, and we just let it go. Because when you do the wheels retract or they come back out. That's not important. The hook goes up, it goes down, it doesn't really matter. What matters is how long is it going to fly. The batteries that we use, new out of the box, into this thing, lasted almost 13 hours. That is consecutive, nonstop, just go, 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 go. Now, obviously, your mileage may vary. You may have different batteries. You may live in a different altitude. There's all kinds of different things that I can think of that may or may not impact something like that. So with that in mind, you never know. Honestly, you never know. What I love about this thing, let's talk about some of the details with it. The tail rotor, you do have some gearing issues that are back here. It is not the best in low mode. It doesn't quite work as well. The torque that is being transferred doesn't transfer as well as it does to the main rotor, which is fine. It's not the end of the world. You do have an H175 sticker that is sticking up off of the tail fin on both sides, which is always cool as well. You do have an Airbus sticker. By the way, these are all stickers. You have an Airbus sticker that is sticking up on the white on the main front. I shouldn't say the front. The main rear assembly of the roof. That does allow you to open and close it. It is on a sliding mechanism on some Technic axles so that you can pull it out, pull it out, and close it. You can see all the working function and stuff like that just rear of where the rotor of the main rotor is. Down below that, you have your L-42145, which is the set number, Lego 42145. You have R period, which is search and rescue. If you didn't know what that is, SAR or SARS, it's your search and rescue. You have stickers for your turtle and your rabbit for your throttle. You have your on and off sticker. You have another SAR sticker on the door. The doors on each side, by the way, do slide to the rear and open, or to the front and close. Now, You can open them, you can close them. All you're going to see is a bunch of nasty bits on the inside. It's definitely not the most prettiest thing in the world, but it is still pretty nice. You do have some Airbus stickers that are on here in the white, as I had mentioned, but as you move towards the front door is probably the coolest part on both sides of the fuselage where the pilot and co-pilot sit. They do both open up and outward, or I should say outward and up towards the nose cone, just like on a typical helicopter. It doesn't open just, straight out like a car door. It opens up or out and up towards the nose of the aircraft. So you do have that. There are some stickers type stuff that are on the inside. You have some different elevation stuff. You have some different interesting little, if you've ever been in an aircraft, things that tell you, hey, you're flying here, you're flying there, you're doing this, you're doing that. You got your panel of switches and stuff like that are sticker printed in here as well. And it just looks really, really nice. And one of the other things that I notice is you do have a flight control stick that is in here that you can use. It's not bad. What it does is it essentially moves your main propeller on the main body of the helicopter on top. It adjusts the angle of it ever so slightly. Other things that are on the outside of the aircraft, you do have a bright light that is used here on the pilot side of things. I believe it's the pilot side, on the left-hand side of things. And on the right side, you do have your fuel, what is it called? Where your fuel is received into the aircraft. You have that on the nose as well. You close the doors up. You've got something pretty sharp. One of the things I found really interesting was the fact that, you have this entire upwards roof assembly of this thing, and the front can open quite largely and the rear can slide and open so you can see things. It's a really nice set to just be able to see what is going on, see the movements and stuff like that, see the gears that are in function and stuff. It's really, really neat. So that pretty much sums up everything. You do have a few other stickers, nothing crazy. They're kind of like door panels or side step panels, or the front panel doors that are kind of in the nose and stuff. Stuff for avionics and things to get repairs to and whatnot. I love the color scheme. I love the white on the red, on the black, on the white. I think it's great. You have the new glowing neon greenish yellow color that they use here. It's incredible. I love the way this looks. That neon color, it works so well here because rescue helicopters need to be seen, and this is definitely a color that they use around the world, and I like the way it is done here. I think it is done absolutely perfectly. To me, you need to look at this set as two things. You need to look at it as a display piece, or you need to look at it as something that is more A, closer to your heart, and / B, something you're going to quote unquote play with. That's going to justify your price point for this. You have a motor, you have a battery pack. That right there is going to cost you what, $70, $75 easy, almost $80. The rest of it, you're talking about big chunky pieces. Okay, I don't have a frame of reference of what that costs necessarily for all those Technic pieces, but I can tell you two things. I can tell you that although you may think, oh my God, it's so expensive, how could you ever? You're getting a lot here. It's almost a 2-foot long model. It's just about a foot high with the wheels extracted. It still doesn't feel right to say extracted. Anyway, so when the wheels are out, it's just about a foot high, wide, without the props up top, without the blades, maybe 6 inches, maybe 7 if you're lucky. So it is a girthy, it is a chunky helicopter. It does have a lot of cool features to it. I honestly don't know a price point here. Is it worth $210? Maybe. If you were to put the motor and the battery pack and that kind of stuff at $80 or maybe even $90, All right, so we're talking what? You're talking 120, 130, okay? I'd say it's 130. Are all the pieces worth $130? Well, if you gauge it by plastic, the answer is yes. So I don't think it's priced wrong. I honestly think it comes down to what do you want out of it? Are you a Technic collector? Are you a Technic fan? Do you like helicopters? Do you like motorized things? Do you like anything Technic? I mean, you really just need to look at it and say, where's my value to me? Do I like Technic? Do I like helicopters? Do I like this? So based on what I have in front of me, look, I'm always going to say I'd prefer a deal. If I got a deal and I got, if I got this for $150, like a major deal, yeah, it's the best thing ever. I'm not saying it's not the best thing ever. My point is, I think it's good for what the price point is. I don't think it's great. I don't think you're making out with things here. There are sets where you look at it and you're like, oh, I'm getting a steal. But if you look at the set we talked about last week that was at $150 for 835 pieces, I think you're getting a steal if you want to compare it. Battery pack, motor, much more, really cool stuff, something you can actually play with. You could play with the other one, but you could actually really display this thing, and you ain't gotta, you don't have to press anything. You just let it do its thing until the batteries run out. I honestly think this is one of those things that Lego got the value right. I really do. I inside, I'm like, no, you can't say that. They're going to hate you. And I hate you on the inside as well. I honestly think Lego got the value right here. 200 on the dot. Does it work at 200? Probably, yeah. Could it come down 10? Yeah, maybe, probably, yeah. But at 210, it's really not that big of a jump. If it were at 230, I'd probably be like, I don't think it works at 230. But if you look, like I said, at all the components and everything, I really, really think it works well. So if you're curious about this set, I know it's been on the backlog for a while in the process of the move and everything else, and just all the craziness and getting everything. But if you're curious, check it out. You can order it at lego.com. You can get it in store. Probably don't have as many in store. Maybe a handful, 4 or 5, something like that. Maybe 6. Check it out. You're going to need batteries, so make sure you have quality batteries. Lego sets, they always tell you, do not use old batteries. Use new batteries, whatever. Make sure you use new batteries. Rechargeable or not. I use rechargeable because I can take them out. I can throw them in. I can charge them. I can throw the other set in after the other ones die. So I like the set. I think you might like it. It just depends on what your love is for Lego. Do you like Technic or not? There's some things in Technic I'm like, that's ugly. Get it out of here. Don't ever let me see that hideousness again. So I'm going to wrap up this episode. Until we meet again, I'm your minifig ghost, Matt. Let's build on it.